Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Empire Secrets. I am so cozy today. So if you're watching me on YouTube or wherever else, you might see that I'm wearing this really thick sort of Sherpa hoodie today. I'm so proud of this thing. I picked it up yesterday from the shop. It is my first ever Brandmagnetic merch. So it's got my logo embroidered on it, and it has only taken me 2.5 years to get this hoodie. So I am so excited. Unfortunately, they messed up my cap. So I had a really lovely sort of cream colored trucker hat that I've been wearing all summer. I was like, I want to get it embroidered on this cap that I really love. I went to pick it up yesterday. I wish I had a photo of it because it was just like some gibberish. I couldn't even tell whether that was somebody's like weird name. It looked like it was some sort of like company code, not my company, but anyway. So they totally messed up the hat. So I have to redo that. But the hoodie is here and I'm so comfy and cozy and I feel like I'm going to live in this thing. So anyway, that is the vibe that I'm bringing today. This is an Empire Diaries episode. So for those of you who are new to the show, on Empire Diaries, which is typically every other episode, I give you an update on what's happening behind the scenes in my business as I build brandmagnetic.com to $1 million business and beyond. And a lot of things have happened since my last update, which I'm super excited about. I will say that as you're listening to this episode, I am not going to be in New York. I am going to be in sunny, beautiful, breezy, lovely Cancun again. So I was there earlier this summer or in the summer to speak at an event. And now I'm not going to speak. This is a peer-to-peer mastermind retreat. And I'm so excited to be going there because a lot of people that I've been interacting with and sharing and learning from and doing all the good sort of mastermindy stuff, we're all coming to meet IRL at this resort in Cancun for about 3 days. And so I'm very excited. I don't feel like I need sort of a break or a retreat right now. I am like in full lock-in mode, but it's always nice to see people in person. It's always nice to put a name to the face and to also feel like I can see people in 3D versus a tiny thumbnail or a tiny like circular picture inside of Facebook or Instagram or something like that. So, or even like a rectangle on Zoom. So much nicer to meet people, see them, hug them, really feel their vibe. And I'm excited to do that. So I will definitely catch everyone up on how it goes and what I've learned. But what I want to chat about today is what's been going on, which is a big milestone for my business. In fact, I was chatting with my business besties on on Voxer. It's called the Gals. That's why I said like Vals. That's weird. Anyway, so one of my friends, Carlin Bushman, she was like, "This is a milestone moment." A few of us had them. For somebody else in the group, it was their highest revenue month ever in October. So super excited for her. And for me, not only was the merch, she was like, the merch is a milestone moment, but the fact that I am running ads right now, and yesterday my sort of newly released ad campaign is doing 7.2 ROAS. So it did 7.2x ROAS, return on ad spend yesterday, but I don't know how it's doing today. I have to check. And part of my struggle is that it has not been tracking properly. So I have a third party tracker. It's kind of like Heroes, but I think it's a little bit better. And so I've been tracking the sales there. I obviously get notified when I get sales, but it's not showing up for some reason on my Meta dashboard. And I'm very excited about that return. I was so happy yesterday that my first ever like full blown ad campaign was like not profitable out of the gate. I started it over the weekend, but very quickly it was getting results. But I couldn't. Yeah, I actually had a session with an ads manager to kind of look over everything and try and see if we could fix the tracking problem. And she went ahead and turned off the ads or some of them because she was like, well, these are not tracking, so let's turn them off. And I think that actually messed up. I think that messed up my ads. It broke my ads because I was getting lots of sales yesterday. And right now it's 11 a.m. I have not gotten any sales. So I don't want to be discouraged. I think the ads game is, if you let it be, a total emotional roller coaster. And as I am saying all these things, I kind of want to like peek at my dashboard, which I obviously won't look into too deeply on the middle of this call. but it looks like, at least for now, it's starting to track a little bit. But anyway, with all that said, I'm excited about this new phase of my business, even if it's a little wonky, even if like tracking's not perfect, even if my funnel's not perfect. I haven't like fully built out my funnel. So some people grabbed the offer, which is the instant yes machine, which you guys have heard me talk about. You can look it up on brandmagnetic.com/yes machine. It's basically an AI tool trained in my Emmy winning storytelling frameworks. It's trained in my signature trust triggers framework, and it is also trained in the world's best conversion copywriting. Super awesome messaging tool. It's really focused on your intro and bio, but honestly, my clients, my students, they've all been using this for all sorts of copy. In fact, I used it to improve my ads copy. So it doesn't write it for you, it just improves it for you. So with that said, it's a little janky. So that's it's the front end of the funnel. There's an order bump, but I don't have any of my other offers set up. So I don't have an OTO, I don't have a downsell, upsell, none of that yet. And so I'm hoping to increase AOV over time. But part of what I'm doing right now, okay, so that's one thing that's going on. The ads are set up. The second thing that's going on is, as you guys know, I've been putting a ton of work into my Black Friday deals week. In part, not just like setting everything up, which is I'm doing it for the first time this year. So there's a lot of like setup that needs to happen on the back end. But, everything from, setting up the sales page to the automations to the actual deals themselves. Like, what am I offering on each day of the week? How am I discounting? Am I bundling? What do people on the wait list get? Which, by the way, I should have a link ready for you and I don't. But coming very, very soon is going to be a link to get on my Black Friday wait list. And folks on the wait list are going to get a special gift. So if you're on the wait list, there's something that you can pick from. And I'm very, very excited about it. It's coming your way very soon. But all this back end stuff needs to happen for Black Friday. In addition to that, that's still happening, by the way. So in addition to that, I'm also thinking about the rest of my evergreen funnel, right? So I'm bringing people into the brand video accelerator, not just on Black Friday. So Black Friday is going to be the big launch of my new program, the Brand Video Accelerator 2.0, but it's also going to be running at the same time, if you will, as my evergreen funnel. And so I might stop ads like 2 weeks before Black Friday, but the idea is that I need to finish my evergreen funnel. And what that means is, a webinar, a masterclass, which I have been studying how to do like a killer masterclass for a long time, for months, for the better part of this year. And I haven't practiced. So that's the only thing, is like I haven't actually done this masterclass yet, but I have studied how to do it so well. Not just, your run of the mill perfect webinar, but what is really converting today and how to really speak to people, which, by the way, I think you can do it without all of this training. It all boils down to having a great offer. If you have a great offer, you can have a terrible webinar and you'll still sell. But I want to sell really well. So I want to have a great offer and I want to have a great masterclass to bring people in, to invite people in. And so I was just in this other Facebook group that I'm in with a lot of peers, a lot of folks who are like really crushing it, and asking this morning, like literally sitting in my car in front of the gym before getting out to do a workout and posting in this group, like, what is working right now to bring cold people into a webinar funnel? And folks were giving all sorts of suggestions. For example, offering the webinar sign up on a thank you page of a lead magnet, nurturing people who are coming in by then inviting them to the webinar. What else? Some people are running cold ads straight to the webinar with a lot of like retargeting and follow up for folks who didn't sign up. What else? Anyway, lots of different options. And I think at the end of the day, one thing that I'm learning that is really, really important is not to get caught up in all of these different options, but really just to like go with one and test it, focusing on the webinar itself, right? So yes, I want to be getting people in the door to watch it, but I want this thing to rock so that even whether they're coming live or not. So this is the thing that I feel a bit differently about in 2025 than I think, I think maybe folks are switching kind of their importance on showing up live. I know there are a lot of people who don't send replays. So Amy Porterfield in her launch this year did not send a replay. But I honestly think that, like, for me, my people, they are sophisticated buyers. They are people who are in the biz ops space or who are potentially selling to the same people that I do, or that are very savvy. They're super duper savvy and they're super duper busy. And they don't necessarily want to come in and attend live and go through the whole thing. They can, obviously. But I am one that is constantly watching replays. Like, I am a replay gal through and through. And I think the thing that can help in terms of like creating urgency is, like, this goes into a whole other conversation, but having something that is obviously time based. And so the conversation I've had, so this is maybe part 4 of what I wanted to share today, is what exactly does my Brand Video Accelerator 2.0 look like? And if I'm being super honest, I'm still figuring out some of those details in regards to what the back end support of the program looks like. And the reality is that, I do know that people want more time to go through the program. But B, I have to be mindful of my investment and my time. And so the I have to charge accordingly if people want really sort of dedicated feedback and handholding, especially if it's coming from me. I don't have coaches right now in my team, on my team, who can help people, who are trained to help people. And so if they are wanting to get lots of handholding from me, I do have to charge accordingly. What that means is I really want to try and give folks an option that's less pricey, where they get some attention from me so they don't feel like they're completely doing it on their own. And then have a smaller group of VIPs that are that have that attention from me, that's a bit more, what am I trying to say? A bit more close, right? That's a bit more intimate. And those folks are folks that I can, like, remember their stories, that I can really dive into their scripts and dive into their shot lists and really helping them through the program in a more intimate way. But I really need to limit how many people that is, because as much as, like, my heart is just in delivering the program and getting support, I have to run this business. And that means 80% of my time needs to be focused on the front end and bringing people in. And it's likely that I will be hiring a coach to help support people on the back end, because I don't want that part to just not be there, right? I don't want that to be neglected. I want people to have a lot of support, but I just can't do it as the CEO of the business the whole time. So there's going to be limited access to me for a few VIP spots. It might be the case where it's definitely going to be application based, but it might be the case where I only have 5 spots at a time and you kind of have to wait until somebody leaves and for you to get a spot. I might open it up to 10 spots at a time and you have to wait until somebody leaves to get a spot. So I'm going to be playing around with that number. I might start at 5 and add another 5, or add another 2 and see how it goes. But that is the name of the game: experimenting, taking action, moving forward, running the damn ads, creating the creatives, which I realized was a big milestone for me. I don't know why. And it's funny that this happened the same week that I got this hoodie made, because there was something blocking me from getting a hoodie made. And part of that was like, which hoodie do I pick? Like, what's the quality of the work? And so I literally told my husband, I got so sick of my hesitation. I was like, babe, can you please just do this for me? I'll send you my logo. Can you just print it on a black hoodie? I don't care about anything other than that. Like, this is the color I want for the logo, and that's the color I want for the hoodie. And he totally did it. And by the way, this is like going to be the first of many, because now that I've broken my hesitation, wherever that was coming from, I'm going to print them in all sorts of colors now. So the second hesitation I was having was about creating creating ad creative. And I don't know why. And I just, like, pushed myself through it. I looked through my phone, I looked at what I had, and I looked at some examples. So I'm following a specific ads program, and they had a lot of templates and examples that they were going through. And I was like, okay, I can do something like this. I can do something like this. And they were all, like, so simple. And so that leads me to my 5th point, which is I am really going to focus on marketing and content creation moving forward. There was a quote by this gal that I follow, and it was that you really should stop seeing yourself as a coach and see yourself as a content creator instead. And in conjunction with that quote comes another quote, which is you should be spending 80% of your time on lead gen, on marketing, on getting people in, on being visible. And I feel like in the last couple months, I've been so deep in the work that I haven't been showing up as much. So now I'm officially doing 2 emails a week. In fact, I love hearing back from you guys when you respond to my emails. I got a response from the email yesterday where the gal was like, "Oh my gosh, this really landed for me. This freaking landed." I think she said, "This freaking landed for me." Where I was talking about like how you can smell AI everywhere and it stinks. And it really sucks that people are using AI for forward facing, client facing, prospect facing content and interactions without self identify. Listen, I have nothing against talking to a bot, but self identify. And this email was inspired by this LinkedIn message that I got from this girl that I met at a conference. And the LinkedIn message made it seem like we had not talked and we had had really deep conversations. And so I was just like so turned off by that. And I literally replied, I tried to like, take it on the chin or just be kind of funny about it. And I was like, haha, is this a bot? And it turned out it was her assistant who responded to my message, said, "No, this is her assistant, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, well, just self-identify. It's okay to have your assistant respond for you. I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended to receive a message from somebody that's not you in your account. That's not where I have a problem. What I have a problem is like identify yourself. Say that, hey, it's so and so from this girl's team, and tell me who you are, and I think that it just breaks so much trust. And ironically, she jumped into this right after that and she was like, "Oh, hey, blah, blah, how's it going?" She was like, "This is something I saw everybody doing. So I was just testing it out." And I'm like, and she realized, I mean, she had stopped doing it shortly after I responded. But, clearly she saw that it wasn't a good idea. But it just feels like more people should see that it's not. So anyway, I had written a whole email around this and I had gotten some really good responses around people really resonating with that idea. So that is definitely a hill that I will die on. That is a pillar content of mine in terms of how it is more important than ever to show up as a human, to speak louder, to speak from your heart, to really not be automating your connections. And yeah, I feel like moving forward, that's gonna be a big content pillar for me. So those are the things I'm working on, guys, between, launching my ads funnel, focusing on really finalizing my masterclass, getting people in the door. What are some of the strategies that I'm testing to get more people in the door? Black Friday deals week is going to be insane. So I'm very excited about that. That's coming soon. And the wait list is coming soon for that as well. And then what was the other thing? Focusing on content. And I think there was something else because I thought there were 5 things, but I'm literally riffing right now. I don't have notes in front of me, but that is the update. So again, saying hello from sunny Cancun as you're listening to this, because this is going out next week. I hope you have a fantastic week, the rest of your week. If any of this resonates, if you are learning at all from my journey, please let me know. Send me an Instagram message at Brandmagnetic. Send this episode to a friend, have them subscribe and follow the show. Leave your review. I would love to hear from you. Most importantly, if sharing my journey has been helpful for you. And if it hasn't been helpful for you, go ahead and skip the Empire Diaries episodes and just stick to my solo episodes or our guest episodes. Those are still fantastic. The Empire Diaries is really kind of for me. I'm just documenting my journey, but hopefully it is helpful for you as well as we continue to move forward and building this business, which I'm super excited about. Last but not least, I am attending 2 in-person events this week in the city, in New York City, which, as some of you may know, I live about, 30, 40 minutes from the city. So I go in, for specific things and very excited. They are all part of this other sort of mastermind group that I'm in that is not online business specific. So it's kind of interesting to meet folks in other sort of more startup-y arenas. And some of them are SaaS businesses. A lot of them are SaaS businesses, I would say. There might be some product, but I think it's mostly SaaS probably, or service based. And so the event tonight is for the women in the group. So I'm really excited about meeting some other women. And then tomorrow morning, there's actually a storytelling workshop that I'm interested in. I'm very excited about because I think there might be some potential for collaborations there. So doing the things, going out, meeting real people, feeling good about adding that to the mix. All right, everyone, if you have not yet, make sure to check out the Instant Yes Machine. You can grab it at brandmagnetic.com/yes machine. It is a total no-brainer price point. You will love it. You will use this over and over and over and over again with every single piece of copy that you write. It makes it better. It makes it essentially enhanced in regards to human connection and emotional punch. So with that said, I can't wait for you to try it. Let me know how it goes. I would love to add your testimonial to the sales page. There's so many I need to add right now, actually. It's a good reminder. Okay, everyone, have a great week, and I'll see you on the next episode of Empire Secrets. Bye for now.